Perfect.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Nnaishi from the Cap City, Pitori Masangini, and welcome to the Grounded and Fearless podcast, the podcast that is just for you. On this show, we are all about spreading love, life, and growth, as well as discussing unpopular truth. If you are new to the show, do the most, subscribe and follow. If you are a returning listener, thank you so much for the love. We really appreciate the support. And without any further ado, let's get straight to the episode. Enjoy. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome again to another epic episode of the Grounded and Fearless podcast. And on today's episode, we have a gentleman by the name of Sakhile Ngobe. Excuse my brother, how are you?
My brother, I'm keeping well, thanks, and you?
Great stuff, my brother. Good to have you on the show. I'm excited to hear the nuggets that you're going to be sharing with us today.
My brother, I've been a fan of the show for the last 2 years, so it's really an honor and it's really a privilege to be here, my brother. Thank you very much.
Nah, you're welcome, my guy. So now, before we get into the introductions, I think I would like us to play a small game just as an icebreaker, to get the nerves and, get the brains working, to warm up the brains, basically. So I'm going to give you a category. Oh, I'm going to choose a letter, and then you want to give the category. And then we'll see who can come up with the most words in that specific category.
Okay, no problem.
All right. I'll go with the letter B.
So I have to choose a category, ne? Let's see.
Yeah.
B, businesses.
Businesses. Yo. Okay, let's go. Businesses that start with the letter B. Builders warehouse. Let's go. This one. Give me one.
Let's see. You. We have BlackBerry.
That's a good one. Yo. Is a brand a business?
Yes.
Bacardi.
Bloomberg.
What did you say?
Bloomberg.
What's that? I feel like I just did it.
There's a publication in the United States that publishes about companies, investments, and all that. So it's like business.
Yeah.
It's like the Business Times version of South Africa.
Okay. I don't know Bloomberg.
But
I guess you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Barcelos, the restaurant.
Batu.
Nice one. I lost it now. I almost said Barcelona. But I don't think that's a business. Bargain books.
Bugatti.
Yeah. Now you're reaching. Yo, and I'm gonna have to lose again on the episode on the show. Hectic. I'm sure I can think of one more. What is that finisher shop again? Down at the B. But I forgot it. I guess I'll give you this one for now.
No, solid.
Well done, man. I just couldn't think of anything. Yo, businesses. Yeah, no, that was. You threw me under the bus there, but it's fine. We move. I'll get back to you towards the end of the show.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Mr. Sakhile, could you give us like an introduction, basically, of Ngubani Sakhile? Where you from? On which part of the world are you right now? I don't know, man.
I think Sakhile Ntwana Sekasi. Sakhile was born, bred and battered in Mkhuhlu Township, just a township outside Hazyview in Mpumalanga.
Yeah.
Ngimntwana Magriza. I was raised by my grandmother for a few years, then moved to Mkhuhlu Township. Then from there, I think to sum it up, did the last leg of my high school years at Lowville High. I think that's where we met.
Yeah.
Then was introduced to a sport called fencing. Then currently residing in the Western Cape. And yeah, I've been here for 4 years, and I'm hopefully maybe to lengthen my stay here, God willing.
Yeah, good willing, man. Kind of, you said there's a lot of opportunity in Western Cape, so I can imagine why you want to stay that side.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah. I see you mentioned you were introduced to fencing. So tell us about that. How is a Intwana Sekasi doing fencing, like, from the townships to fencing? How did you get there?
I think that's a question I get to from everyone, cause there's a saying
Yeah.
also that is coined by my friend Wandile Mkhwanazi. He's like, yabona, I'll also translate. He's like, yabona ntwana, i-fencing bekuye bantu banemali, kwaze kwafika wena. Ma i-fencing akusese yabantu banemali. So that loosely translated
Yeah.
means that fencing was a sport for the elite till I arrived. So, in a nutshell,
Yeah.
at fencing in 2016, we're chilling at in the hall at Lofer High. A lady by the name of Greta Inkrem came into the hall and introduced the sport. And at the time, to be honest, I wasn't
Yeah.
really interested. I was not interested. But me arriving at Lowell High 2016, staying at the hostel, it's a big transition for me, because I'm coming from
Yeah.
I don't want to say a school that is lesser in stature, but also in size. Then you go to Lowell High, everything is now different, Yabona. So I get there, I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a bigger school. I'm saying,
Um,
like, it's a bigger school.
exactly, it's a bigger school, and everyone is taking out English by the nose and like, hey, skip la. Yabona, when me,
Yeah.
I'm used to the township style. Yabona, we're speaking Tsonga or we're speaking Siswati Endlini. Then it's a huge
Yeah.
transition for me from a Kas Mkuhlu to a Lofel High, and you're staying in a hostel. And there are kids that are better than you. Like kids are rolling in, using phones that you dream about. Get to Lowell High,
Yeah.
back to my story. Greta introduces fencing, and at the time, to leave the study hall, you needed to have a reason, like I'm playing rugby, I'm playing cricket, and you needed to have a letter.
Yeah.
And at that time, I'm like, guy, today they won't see me in the study hall. Today, never. Because we also had a thing, a hostel where our HEs, hostel executives, they used to
Yeah.
make you do stupid things for no reason, like sit at the floor, or yabona, I guess it was initiation. Yabona,
Yeah,
for
you can
asking
say that.
people. I'm
Mm.
like, I namhlanje ngabangibone, they won't see me in the study hall. I'm going to do this thing called fencing. As I got to
So you basically
fencing,
started
pardon?
I want to say, like, you started fencing as an excuse to leave the study hall in the afternoons.
Exactly. Like I won't even try and lie to you. I started fencing because I was running away from the study hall. That was my main reason. I didn't even know what fencing was
Yeah.
about. You see, I'm a kid, I'm mischievous. I'm like, no, I don't want to study today. Let me go and do something. Because back at the time, it only now comes upon my mind that at the time, that was the coolest thing to do, to be out of the studying hall. Those niggas who were
Yeah.
wearing Puma shirts, going to practice at the rugby fields, or those guys who did hockey. It was cool because they're playing, they're enjoying. Then there's you. It's as if you're in jail. Yeah, Bob.
Yeah, that was us though. That was us going to practice.
Exactly. You
Beast
guys
mode. Beast mode.
looking so cool with the beast modes. Yeah, with the tides walking there. Then there's us in the study hall looking at you guys as if we're in jail. I was like, fencing is my chance to live. If I do not use this
Yeah.
chance, it's a once in a lifetime. I do not care about the sport. I just want to live. I just want to feel what the
Yeah.
rugby players are feeling. I want to feel what the cricketers are feeling. This is my time to shine. Huh? I
And
went.
then you took it.
When I got there, hey, there's a lady, Greta Ingram. She's introducing them to fencing. Yabona, I think there were three ladies. She's introducing them to fencing. Then it's my time to pick up the sword. Then we realize that no, man, I'm left-handed, and everyone else is
Mm.
right-handed. Then I think she got an epiphany. Or no, man, this guy is the only left-handed fencer, and in South Africa, there's only like a few left-handed fencers. And those fencers are extremely how can I put it? They're just stellar fencers. I think it
Yeah.
comes with the hand, I guess, because there's also research that people who use their left hand to write are also smarter. Yeah, wanna.
Ah. Ah. We'll get to that later. I'll let you blow your own horn for now.
Exactly. So I do this thing called fencing. I'm like, at that point, I'm not really interested. Then she's like, I'm gonna come next week. I'm like, as long as I can leave the study hall. Because the last thing I asked is like, are you gonna write me a letter that I was with you? She's like, that's nothing. She got me the letter. I'm like, next week, same time,
Yeah.
same place. Okay, cool. Then next week they tell us that no, actually, now she explained that there's this sport called fencing. I started in 2013, developing the sport in Pumalanga, and currently there's a few provincial fencers, and we are gonna move the practice. So if you're serious, we're moving it away from Pumalanga, you're away from Lofel High, and we're gonna now practice at. There's a church, man, on your way to Babaton. I forgot the church, just outside Stonehenge. There's that church there.
Oh, yeah,
There's
I think I see it.
there's
Yeah.
about indoor soccer. We used to practice there. So I'm like, okay, no problem. As long as I can leave the study hall, it's fine. Anything to leave the study hall. Nice.
Yeah.
I left. I think second week, I left and I went to practice with the rest of the team. It was hard. I won't lie. I got moved. Yo. I think.
So they were that good.
Eh?
I'm saying they were that good.
I don't think, not that I'm disrespecting them, my brother, but I don't think that at that point I had understood the sport. Because it's like you take a kid who doesn't know soccer and you maybe put them against the players of Sundowns. Obviously, that kid will struggle. But if that kid is talented,
Yeah.
give that kid enough resources, they'll be fine. So I think that was the case.
Yeah.
2 weeks, 3 weeks, I was something else. The following week, I remember we had a competition, and in that competition, that was my first competition.
Yeah.
I remember I had to travel from Koshu Township to Nelspruit that morning. Then Mr. Stain, the former principal of Lofelai, I explained everything to him. He was like, no, Sakhile, you can sleep over at the hostel. Yabo. Then when you sleep over in
Yeah.
the morning, I'll organize transport for you to go to the competition. I wake up in the morning. I call Mr. Stain. He's like, come through to my house. Okay, pull through to his house. He drives me to the competition. I'm like, which one is this one?
Yeah.
I'm just an underdog. I haven't built my name for myself in the fencing industry, and he probably doesn't know me. Or he was my history teacher. But to me, Mfethu, that was
Yeah.
big. I'm like, hey, a whole deputy principal driving some boy to a competition.
But I mean that for me shows that you were meant to be doing something, because now everything is falling in place. Like you just started when to leave the study hall, but now you have the whole principal driving you to your competition.
Mfethu, I was starstruck, my guy. I was starstruck because also I was still trying to transition. Remember, I'm still trying to transition mentally to Lofel High. To me, I won't
Yeah.
lie, my guy, it was big. Going to Lofel High, I
Yeah.
didn't. If you would call my parents, the plan was not for them to take me to Lofel High. The plan was actually to go to ASEC at White River. But then
Yeah.
there was a girl from my hood who had the application documents. So I saw her holding them at Sunday school in Kuhlu. Then the following week, I went to ask her, Yabona was just, let us apply and see what happens. And the rest was his.
Yeah.
So the mental transition to me was really big, my guy. Yabona. So then now you have another mental
Yeah.
transition where you're supposed to grasp into the sport of fencing. Long story short, I get to the competition. As I got to the competition, I see fencers from Soweto. Yeah, but these guys are like they tell me we've traveled the world with fencing. We have national colors, and to me, that was because also these guys are black. They are from the township.
Yeah.
They speak like me. They look like
Yeah.
me. My guy, we
Yeah.
hadn't started the competition hadn't started yet. We're still having those conversations, and now we're no longer speaking in English. Now they're speaking to me in Zulu. I get to realize because there's this one speaking Tsonga. I'm like, these guys look like me. What will stop me from winning this competition? Remember, I'm 3 weeks in fencing, and it's my first competition. And in fencing, to join a competition, you need at least 6 months or a year. Me, in 3 weeks, I'm in.
Yeah.
But as I'm preparing for fencing, they tell me, hey, Ntwana, ungayenza la le ungabashaya labantu, and they're speaking in Zulu. Yabona, so I'm like, these niggas
Yeah.
look like me. What can stop me? Ukuthi nami ngibashaye la bantu.
Yeah. So they're basically saying to you that you can beat your opponents. Like
Exactly.
they
Like,
challenge you to show.
what's stopping you? And Mina, I come with the mindset, no, I've been here. You know those limitations or those defeats. Sometimes we fail ourselves, my brother, where you get into a space, you're like, no, Mina, these kids have been doing it for 6 months. No, I don't deserve imposter
Yeah.
syndrome. I'm sorry to fast
Yeah.
forward a bit, but even when I got into a higher institution of learning, yabona, I had that thing, oh no, there are kids from St. Cyrians, there are kids from Victoria Boys. Who am I to be in the Dean's List? Who am I to be in the Golden Key? So that was also my mindset then when I was age
Yeah.
16 and trying to imagine the sport of fencing. And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I fence, I fence, I fence. I win some, I lose some. And at the end of the day, medal ceremony. I hear number one, they call number one. Number two, number three, Sakhile Ngobe. Hi. Okay. They come
So
again.
you're saying on your first tournament, after 3 weeks of practice,
My first
you get
tournament,
third place.
I was third place, FA. They call another. I think it was
That's ins-
it was senior.
that's insane.
Wait, it was under 20. I was 16. Then cadet under 17. They start again. Zbanban, number three, Sakhile Ngobe. Yeah. Now I have 2 medals.
Wait. So you got third at under 20 at 16 years old,
And
and
third,
then you got
under 17.
third again at under 17.
And keep in mind,
Mind you, this is 3 weeks.
I've been playing sports my whole life. I think I played soccer in the township. I wasn't that good. I was horrible. I played. When I get to Lofel High, I think if Mr. Ron remembers, he will recall this. I wanted to play every sport. I went to swimming. I don't know what happened with swimming, but I didn't. I went to rugby. That's why I think I was also interested in being friends with you because you were a leading figure in rugby. Hence, I skimmed all those gents who did rugby. I went to Mr. Ron. I'm like, Mr. Ron,
Yeah.
I know I'm 16 plus, but at least for me to know rugby, put me to play with under 14s. It's like, what? I'm fine. You're already old. I, I'm not sure if he
Yeah.
remembers that conversation, but it was there by the grandstands. After that, I went to hockey. I played hockey, my guy. What else did I play? I tried doing chess. My brain was not grasping. But in a nutshell,
Yeah.
I tried everything when I got to level high, and I think the only thing that stuck was fencing. Yabona. So I get that position. I'm happy, and I'm there chilling with those Grootmans. I'm still in touch with them to even till this day. Oh, Joseph Maluleka, oh Manyane.
Yeah.
Was Manyane there? Joseph Utulani, Nomashudu. At some point, I fenced them in competitions. These guys, I was fencing them in the Eastern Cape in January when I was there. So okay,
Yeah.
cool. I after the day we have a conversation. They're like, no, Ntwana, do believe in yourself, Ntwana. You can do it. And also keep in mind that I think we were few at the time fencers of color. Because one thing,
Yeah.
one conversation, Mina, I never beat around the bush, is that we must never be ignorant of the privilege aspect that comes with fencing. As the interview goes, I'll share some of the moments where I couldn't attend competitions. I couldn't afford a sword because of that aspect, Yabona,
Yeah.
of affordability. Because that sport, as one daily says, it's for the elite. But end of
Yeah.
the day, I called Mr. Stain. I had Mr. Stain's number on my phone, my guy, a whole deputy principal. I'm 16. I'm just new
Yeah.
to the school. I couldn't fathom it, my guy. I call Mr. Stain. I'm like, hey, Mr. Stain, I'm done with the competition. He fetches me with his Fortuna. He asked me, Sakhile, how did you do in the competition? I'm like, I got. He's like, what? I'm like, no, congratulations, my guy.
Yeah.
I'm really, really proud of you, my guy. At that time, those words meant the world to me.
I can imagine, my guy. Like,
'Cause he's the first guy to fetch me from a competition, and meaning it's Tatela my chance. I'm taking chances, and I come back with medals.
yeah.
Then thereafter, I think there was a newspaper, Lowfelder, was covering that event.
Mm.
Then they wrote the event winners. got the newspaper, bought myself a newspaper for the first time, excuse me, in my life, open the last page, fencing, I go to the fencing part. Number 3, I see Sakhile Ngobe. Wow. My guy,
Your name is on a newspaper.
at that point, my face was not there, but my name, my guy, I lost it. I'm like, what? Then from there, my guy, I start training seriously with the club. Now they start fetching me. Now I start communicating. I start hearing that the first black fencer to go to the Olympics is Selo Maduma from Mamelodi, and he's also left-handed. I'm like, hey. And at the time, my parents are like, fencing le.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine trying to explain that to your parents.
Sikiselo fell high mfana uthi kusofunza amabhuku wona soyenda bo fencing hayibo. But anyways, I think to fast forward, I do what happens? I think grade 11 December 2016, I go to a competition in Joburg for the first time alone. I'm going to Park Station alone. I slept at my aunt's place in Soweto. And at that time, I went to social media and Googled guys who were doing fencing who were good. I found a brother by the name of Ayanda Tuku from Soweto. Out of the blue, I DM'd him. And that brother, till today, we are close friends. He's now, I think, the deputy president of the Vets Sports Council. And at that time, we're both doing grade 10. He's a top fencer, and he accommodated me. He's like, my brother, I'll show you the ropes. My brother, I'll teach you everything. If you're in Soweto, we linked up. And grade 11, I used to work with a lady called, I don't remember the lady, but it's a lady who used to do marketing for Lofel High. She's now gone. Not under Mr. De Klerk. She was there next to the hall. She had the office there by the hall.
Oh, I think Miss Duplessis.
Miss Duplessis, yeah. So I don't know what I had to do. I think I told Miss Duplessis I do fencing. Then she wrote something small for me. She put a picture there of me. Then I told my story thus far. Published the story on the Lofel High thingy. Now another milestone, Ivan. I'm now on the Lofel High thing, on the Lofel High page. Oh, hold me, Johnny. Yeah, about imposter syndrome, my guy. John, figure John.
Yeah, and all this started with just.
Yeah.
It all just started with just taking chances. It started with taking chances.
Exactly. So now, after that, guess what? Newspaper articles start calling. There's a TV station, Suburb News, starts reaching out. I'm chilling in the study hall. I'm studying, and I remember I think his name is Mido. He'll forgive me if I forgot his name. Umido, he used to take pictures at Lofel High. Mido reached out to me.
Yeah, I see.
He's like, yo, I'm chilling in the study hall. Then I'm being told I'm being called. For what? Because I'm studying. Now I'm serious. I'm in the study hall. I don't want to get out. I'm studying, Ped. They're like, no, they're calling you for an interview. I'm like, okay, cool. I go there by Matron, by the hostel entrance. They're like, the guy introduces himself. He's like, yeah, my name is Trevor Hlungwane. I'm a journalist. I'm from Lofelder, and I don't know, do you have time? We would like to speak to you for about 30 minutes, and we'd also like to take pictures. I'm still in my uniform, and I have my fencing sword with me there. I don't know why I had it, because I wasn't supposed to have it.
Yeah.
My brother, I think that was a milestone. That was really monumental to me, because Lofelder is a newspaper that, even before I got to Lofel High, I knew that it's a leading newspaper in the Lofel area. And everyone knows of Lofelder. All these big guys, or Uplands, Curo, they get published, or their stories get published. Even Inter High gets published on Lofelder. Now, the whole Sakhile Ngobe at age 16, before turning 17, they're like, dude, we want to cover you, we want to have a whole corner for you in the newspaper where we just tell your story. I'm like, tell me a joke.
It's like now there's a whole Sakhile Ngobe exclusive.
Exactly. Because I'm used to, okay, there's going to be a Berflam corner. when they talk about Belflam, they did well in debating, or Lofel High, they did well in whatever. Now they say, Sakhile Ngobe, when I want to give you your whole corner there in the newspaper. I'm like, hey, tell me you're joking. Go there, we do the interview, we take pictures, okay, cool. Following week, I'm receiving calls. I am receiving calls, my guy, because the newspaper is now published. Everyone, Sakhile. The aunties, because my mom is an educator.
Yeah.
So I think one of her colleagues got a newspaper.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
my mom is calling, I was Sakhile Ngobe newspaper. My aunt, I was Sakhile Ngobe.
Yeah.
That means, Sakhile, we are seeing you on this newspaper. What's happening? I'm like, I'm a fan. I'm fair to, I think, from a perspective, because people knew, obviously, that I do a sport that deals with fencing, we do swords. Yeah, but people knew generally because I was always holding swords. I was already out for practice. But I think from there, that's what validated my fencing journey. Because this guy is really a fencer. And to me, it was also a moment where I reflect and I'm like, God, thank you. I am really happy because now I just arrived in the school and you're already giving me this opportunity. It could have been someone else who was going to be a fencer, who was going to move mountains. Yeah, but
I always say, like, well, for me, I always have this idea that, or this mindset that, when something's yours, it'll never miss you. And when something is not yours,
exactly.
you'll never get it. And you just need to make peace with that. And I think fencing is something that was meant for you from the beginning, basically. If you look at how you started, just running away from the study hall to being this in-demand fencer that everyone wants to have an exclusive interview with, that's amazing. I guess the lesson in the story is we need to take our chances as they come.
I was speaking to this other guy from Mamelodi, I think last week, and he comes to me, he's like, Saks, Bupilo Abuna Sap. So that means, Sakhile, life has no supplementary exams. You only live once.
So it's like you gotta use the opportunities that come with today. Yeah.
Exactly. So back to that fencing story. Move. I get invited to the Arnold Classic. Arnold Classic is hosted by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger is hosting Arnold Classic at Sentin Convention Center, and Bara Sakhile, you must go there and represent Pumalang. And at that time, my family is now starting to be convinced, like, okay, because now that they're like, hey, we're seeing your son, man, we're seeing your son.
They can see it working. They can see the results of it.
So everyone is starting to reach out. Then my family is like, okay, it's cool. You can go to the Arnold Classic. Alright, cool. I go to the Arnold Classic. Then when I get to the Arnold Classic, that I didn't say Arnold Schwarzenegger because he was all over, but I know he was there. These guys were acting wrestling. They were there, wrestling legends, my guy. I'm like, what's happening here? Which point which direction is making? I'm here with these guys.
So it was a big event.
A whole mean. I remember at the time, Lovell High boys are starstruck by what's happening at the Arnold Classic. Okay, cool. At the Arnold Classic, I was with my brother, my friend Lloyd Shingang. He was there for karate. So we there together, we're starstruck. We're like, my guy, what's happening here? Fans at the Arnold Classic, I think I made the top 20 or top 15. Yeah, but at the time, me being in the top 20, I won't lie to you, it was big, my guy, because there's over 40, 60 people in the competition. And one thing about me is that I trained once a week. So Tuesday I train and weekend I'm at home. Chips, I'm eating slab chips, and I'm supposed to be eating all these diets and I'm supposed to be training. So I guess it was, I would like to call natural talent. Before you get to varsity, you can cram and get those distinctions. But when you get to varsity, that doesn't work anymore. So I think I was also at that point where I was young, I was super strong, and I was energetic. So I used those top 20, top 15. I think even if you could check my articles today, Mpumalanga News published. So that was the thing. Then we continued. Fast forward to my. I'm supposed to write my preliminary exams. I get an invitation to go and represent Mpumalanga in Durban. Hey, suppose I have an English exam paper two,
Yeah.
that like paper one. Yeah, I'm supposed to go to Durban. Okay, I go to Durban.
Yeah.
I managed to pull strings, as they say. Not really pull strings, but I followed all procedures, filling the forms. My guy, I went to Durban and I fenced without my family knowing.
So you just left and went to Durban and came back, and your family.
You know why? They told me they would book a flight for me, and it was my first time. It was gonna be my first time being on a flight. Ah, like it was so nice. And also, yeah, first there I was number 8. You can imagine number 8 in the country for that competition. Wow. Okay, Sakhile, this thing is yours. I'm in metric. Okay, cool. I leave the competition. I fly back to Mpumalanga. Mr. Mahundla collects me. He takes me to the hostel. Before I write my final exams, we do a conference. The low felder is called again. Say my last goodbyes. And yeah, Sakhile ranked 18th in South Africa. I think that was the title of the top 20 years. My aunt, Mama Saint, was there. Shout out to Mama, man. She's been real. She's been solid. Then, yeah, man, we did the interview and I ran my exams, and I guess that's how my story ended. With Pumalanga fencing, and I think not to promote myself or not to sound pompous, but I believe I was one of the greatest fencers to ever do it in Pumalanga. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, your story tells a story that agrees with what you're saying by saying you see yourself as one of the greatest. Um, if you look at how you literally went from zero to hero in such a short space of time, and
Yeah.
what you could accomplish in that in that space and that time frame is remarkable. It's something that doesn't come easy.
And
So yeah,
you know what also happened? So
yeah.
in grade 11,
Mm,
let me share this last story quick and fast. In grade 11, there's a club that I liked in Cape Town called Blues Fencing, one of the biggest clubs in South Africa and I think Africa.
mm.
What I did, I commented in one of their pictures, grade 11, 2017. I was like, Blues, one of the best fencing club in South Africa. Uh, I would like to fence for this club one day. And to cut the long story short, I'm currently a fencer at Blues and it's been 3 years. Sure.
Oh, look at that! And you are based in Cape Town, so you were manifesting your future.
Exactly. And I had to prove myself. I didn't just enter at Blues and there you're fencing with national fencers, people who know Commonwealth, people. And compared to my Pumalanga success, there was nothing. So
Yeah.
a year and a half of proving myself before I actually made the actual team.
No, I mean,
And you don't just make the actual, you need to stay there.
you see, I mean, I think this just backs up your statement when saying you see yourself as one of the best fencers to come out of Mpumalanga, basically.
Exactly.
So now I want us to move to just varsity now. You are in varsity. You mentioned something touch and go about
Yes.
now from the kid who was running away from the study hall to now the kid who's making Dean's List and Golden Key. How did you make that switch to excel in varsity? Because as you're saying, it's not the same. Primary or
I
high
think,
school, we cram. Varsity is understanding what makes a good
yeah,
student in your like from your perspective.
I think my guy, to me, when I got to varsity, it was a thing that I really owe my parents that much.
Yeah,
I think the sacrifices that my parents made for me to be at Lowveld High, hence I was busy speaking about the transition and also
yeah.
how they felt about how I joined fencing. It was not to worry, they didn't wish well for me, but it was a matter of worry, you are there to study, my boy. Now, won't that be a distraction? And at some point, it was a distraction because my marks were we're going downhill. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? But I think it was a matter of saying to my parents, guys, thank you very much for everything you've done for me. And this is the little I can do for you, Yabona. And I think one thing my grandmother told me before I left home for varsity was like, right now, as you go out into the world, you are not only representing yourself. I think
Yeah.
that's the case with all of us. You're out there, you're not only representing Nnaishi, but you are representing the Monyekis, you are representing those who came before you, you are representing your parents and your greater family. So I think that was it to me. Okay, I'm here in the Western Cape, and I think that's on the only job I have to do. I don't know how I'll do it, but I want to be in the Golden Key. I remember telling my cousin from UCT, I'm like, they were doing those exhibitions on campus, Golden Key. Then they told us the requirements. I'm like, I sent her a message. I'm like, I'm gonna be in the Golden Key next year. I don't know how. I don't know what miracle will happen. And keep in mind that from matric, I'm coming from matric with one distinction, 80% mathematical literacy. So
Yeah.
I was not that smart. You know me from high school. You've never had my name top 10 or closer to top 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wasn't. We stayed together at hostel. You've never had my name at the academic passage or whatever.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So to me, was like this is a new chapter of my life, and whatever has happened in the past has happened in the past. But let me try and write a good story. And I also think I'm a conversation.
Mm.
Those of us who grew up in the township, there are gents who are called Amakhutman. You get what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I
Yeah.
think also surrounding myself with Amakhutman, or to name a few, or Suma, I call him Suma. His name is Kuto Machifane. I think that guy really played a role in me being academically inclined because at the time he was in the dean's list and he
Mm.
was doing the most. And as we speak, he's a summa cum laude graduate. So I think having those conversations with him validated me the same way in fencing in 2016. I had those conversations with Abu Josi when I started fencing, and I actually achieved um, being one of the top fencers in Pumalanga at the time.
Mm. So it's basically the people you were surrounding yourself with. Basically, like you had the right group of people with the right influence and the greatest motivation for me. I would say knowing that you owe it to your family, the greater part of your family, to represent them well and actually
Exactly.
do the task that is before you.
Yes.
Nah, and what I'm trying to think, what is it that haven't you done? Because now you just told us about your fencing journey. Now you are in varsity, you are also excelling, and then now there was a point in your life where you had where you were selling books, and now you are this entrepreneur student. Tell us about that.
I think I think with selling books, my guy. In business, I'm really interested in business. I wouldn't lie to you. Business, I think it's one of after reading and obviously after a few other important things. I think business is my passion.
Yeah,
And when I speak of business, I'm not talking about Silicon Valley. I'm not speaking about apps. Just the simple thing, my guy. Because as I've said, Guri, I grew up in cars and I love townships. So those jitters who sell quarters, those guys who help you park your car, I'm interested in the type of business. That guy who wakes up in the morning just to sell ama chips. Unfortunately, this is a bad example, but Abonyaupe boy. You know why I love Abonyaupe boy?
why is that?
Onyaupes will never go a day without getting a high, without getting inyaupe. Cause Lomjita, he's trained to hustle, noma yini, to get anything.
Yeah,
And I think that was also what inspired me. Rewore boy, at that moment I had e-funding that maybe paid on the 25th. I'm like, I can't wait for the 25th. And now I'm fencing for blues, and I have to get transport money and all that, all that. And I also it would be like it would be nice to have an extra income. I'm like, SK, yenza noma yini nja yami. If you can celebrate,
yeah,
then at that point I saw a market in books because I'm a reader, avid reader.
mm.
I got a supplier where I got books for a cheap price, like cheap.
Yeah,
Then created an Instagram profile. Creating an Instagram profile, I went to maybe hashtag readers, South Africa. I followed everyone.
Yeah.
Reading. I went to celebrities when they posted books in the comments. I follow everyone. When I posted the first book, within 2 hours it was sold out.
Yo.
And till this day, I think I operated that business. I think for 10 months, and we have sold over 100 books within a space of 6 months.
That's a lot, man. Yo. And you had just started.
That opportunity opened other opportunities for me in the book space. I'm currently a member in good standing, and I'm involved with projects there in Pretoria called KCS Book Club. It's a subsidiary, I think, of Afrocentric Media House. So I'm involved in that. Every month we used to hike. So I think this December we have a hiking session for all the Pretorians where we say let's read this book, and then during the hike we just discuss the book. Or for those who do not read the book, we invite you, we put it on Instagram, and those who want to come and hike, we go to Pretoria Botanical Gardens, man. And I think the good part, shout out to Tukelo Shahala. He's the guy that
Yeah.
fetched me out of the trenches and taught me business, still teaching me business and all this book space. So he's the one who's behind that. So UTK Tukelo, we go to the mountains, not the botanical gardens, and then we have conversations. Because I think, I'm sorry to digress, but I think at this time that we live in, young people need to have conversation. We are in thirst of conversations. Like outside social media, when do we talk about the unemployment
Yeah.
rate? When do we talk about side income, side hustles? When do we talk about, hey guys, I also want to be the golden key. How do I do it? I also want to be in the dean's list. How do I do it? When do we actually talk about that? So we need those spaces.
Yeah.
Hence, podcasts in South Africa are rising because people are in thirst of conversations. So I think that's how I ended in business, just to sell books and being inspired by Mahrutmani, Nomayini, Jaya, 50 Rand profit.
Yeah.
Asante, let's
So
go.
it's like that. You need to have conversations that matter, basically, as the youth of the country, to be the game changers that we need.
Exactly. There's a lot happening, and there's a lot of conversations that we need to have. I think one of the reasons I do not like social media is that we lack conversations, and even with things such as Uber Live, we do not use them. I like engaging. I'm a networker at heart, where I'm like, hey, my guy, how's it? How's your family? How's Grounded and Fearless podcast? How can I help? How can I be involved? How can I just love conversations. Okay, I see the unemployment rate. Can we sell something? Can we start a brand? Do we see money in Pretoria? I think we need to reach a point where we stop being consumers and we also become producers, because we've been consuming for far enough. Every day you're consuming, you're at that
Yeah.
restaurant, you are at that app, you're on that app, you are having that phone call, you are watching something on that podcast, you're watching something on that streaming app that I won't mention. When do you get time to produce for yourself? When do you get time to also
Yeah.
extract from the country? Because we've been consuming for far enough.
Yeah. I was about to say, don't forget to add groove to the list. Well, not to say I'm bashing anyone who grooves, but I'm just adding to the list of the stuff that we consume and indulge ourselves in.
You see why I'm saying there's a thirst for conversations.
Yeah.
We're not having enough conversations in the country, and one day we'll wake up and the country will be gone.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that day doesn't come. So yeah, I mean, you mentioning the hikes. I think you should really hook me up. I would love to go on one of these hikes whenever you come to Pretoria and you visit us this side, man. Don't shy away from sending that invite. You mentioning TK, who's been mentoring you and who's been walking the journey and teaching you about business and stuff like that. I want us to go to someone close to you, a friend of yours, with Terence, man. What can you tell us about Terence?
I met Terence Machiho through Tukelo Shahara. TK, the guy I'm telling you about, TK.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when Terence Mashiro was still in Cape Town City, TK decided to come to Cape Town and pay me a visit
Yeah.
and also see Cape Town. Then he tells me that I don't watch soccer. Generally, I don't watch soccer. But TK that is like, I'm gonna see a friend of mine. They're both from Mamelodi. We're gonna link up. I'm going to fencing practice. He goes to see Terence. But at that moment, I don't watch soccer, so I really don't care. I'm like, my guy. And I think it was 10 minutes away from my fencing practice where Terence stays. So
Yeah.
after the practice, I'm like, my G, taxis in Cape Town, they get really scarce at night, and we live very far. We live
Mm.
the Simonsberg from Cape Town City is so far. I'm like, my guy, when I leave Cape Town City, when I leave CPT fencing practice, I need to find you at this moment spot. That's me in my mind. Uh, I call TK. I'm like, TK, my guy, I'm done with fencing. Let's rush to the taxi rank. As I call TK, he's like, no, come to this place. He gives this guy with dreadlocks the phone. He appears on the video. I'm like, my G. In my mind, I'm like, my G, I'm looking for TK. I'm not looking for you. As I get to the house, I introduce myself. My name is Sakhile Ngobe. Yeah. With my, he's like, my name is Terence Mashiro. Okay, Terence Mashiro. What do you do? Is like, I'm a Bafana defender, and I'm a Cape Town City. My guy, I was mind blown.
Yeah.
I
When
was,
you,
I was, I was mind blown. I'm like, okay, I don't know I soccer, but eh? Then we got to, I think, when we got to Terence Place, very, very humble guy. I must give him the flowers for that.
mm,
He never acted celebrity on me. He never, yeah, but he's big. He had every right to say, Dwana, ufunani, ikailam, or Dwana,
yeah.
ufunani, Joe is, but one thing I'm grateful for with Terence is that the brother was never celebrity on me. He is a celebrity, but he was like, no. He took me in as his younger brother, and in fact, it's been 6, 7 months later, and I think the conversations and the things I've done with him. A few days ago, I was on a call with Terence just to check with my brother. How's Sundowns? How's home? How are the people? And I also realized that he speaks stronger, so and also that.
Mm,
But I think the love that he showed in Cape Town was just too much. I could call him in CPT. I'm like, hey, leader, Ngalana CPT is team. I don't worry, leader, I'll be there. Khululeka. And I think for me, it's something I'll carry with me. And that's how I met Terence. His humbleness and it's crazy, my guy. You're chilling with Terence on a Thursday. On Saturday, he scores a goal like against Chiefs. I can't fathom that.
you were
On
with this guy.
Thursday, I'm in a meeting with Terence. We're strategizing. We're working on a strategic project. The following week, I'm being told Terence signed for Sundowns. I'm like, but I was with him last week Thursday. This is big. So I think, my guy, Terence is something else. Leadership, shout out, my guy.
No, man, that's great. I think one thing I'm learning from you, Sakida, is that community is very important.
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
people you surround yourself with, they have a big impact and a big role in your life in the direction that your life will be taking.
Exactly, my guy. You can be the greatest and smartest student with magna cum
Mm.
laude. But if you are not able to communicate with people, if you are not basically, if also umuntu, awuna ubuntu, you can come from the richest family, you can have everything. But if you're not able to come at ground-based level and be able to communicate and forget about your achievements and where you come from, I think that's where humanity lies in outside the achievements and outside what yes you have achieved, yes you are a Grammy award, whatnot, but are you a person? Are you a good person? Are you able? Because that's how you find your tribe, and in finding your
Yeah,
tribe, that's how you're gonna be successful. Because today it's mind blowing where people call me like Sakhile. I'm going maybe a friend TK. In fact, he calls me like Sakhile. I have an interview at Radio 702. That's mind
mm,
blowing with Aubrey. I'm like, what?
yeah,
He's like, yeah, Sakila, I have a meeting with this person, strategic person. If you're in Pumalanga, you if you're in Pretoria, we must go and meet this person. I'm like, what? But this person is
yeah.
up there, and you're telling me and
You wanna meet them?
this one time after Cape Town City played Amazulu. The first time I attended a soccer match, I'm chilling in Terence flat and I turn my head around. There's a guy, Thabo Mokeke. I turn around my head around. There's Kanyisa Mayo. There's Darwin Gonzalez. The following week, a few days ago, I see Mayo debut.
Mm.
He plays a debut for Bafana Bafana. And I see Mpo Makola. We're chilling with Mpo Makola. And in my mind, I'm like, I grew up watching Mpo Makola playing for Orlando Pirates. And now, because of
Yeah,
Terence,
true.
I'm like, hey, my guy, what's the time there? Yeah, and I think it all boils down to your tribe. Find your tribe, and when you find your tribe and you're genuine, and another thing that we overlook, provide value. Do not be
Yeah,
elite in relationships. Provide value because people can sense umashaya from afar.
yeah,
Whether
yeah,
you can provide value for marketing, whatever value, but make sure that in every relationship, when people think of an opportunity, passing now the opportunity led to present podcasts, maybe to Department of Arts, your name should be top of mind. And how your
yeah,
name becomes top of mind, it's you offering. I find it hard because I'm also in spaces where maybe I apply for something, maybe someone says, hey, Chan, let's call drink, and that really fathoms me, and hence I think we must have such conversations because people bafuna cold drink, and cold drink is a loose word for bribe lamzansi.
yeah,
I find my peers bafuna cold drink, they want a tit for a tat. Those relationships, Nnaishi, that we are building now will only pay off 10 years later.
yeah,
Let me make an example. If you could evaluate the relationship ya Oskido, Notira, you might find that it started 20 years ago, but they're only fully benefiting from the relationship, like making big moves now. So we must accept that when we are still building and we're still sharing resources, those people, they are only going to be able to call me 10 years and be like, yeah, SK, I need a flight to America. Can you organize your connects there to organize an interview for me or do? Because it's relationships. Even if you watch McG and you listen, those are
mm,
relationships we build at YFM. Those are relationships that stand to be corrected with the radio station. If you watch all
yeah,
these big guys, so now, instead of you wanting to be friends with the black coffees, and you do not, Banelero says, you do not meet successful friends, you make successful friends. So that friend of yours with podcasting, you must share the podcast, you must promote the
yeah,
podcast. That friend of yours who's singing, that friend of yours, because in 10 years' time, they're going to be the leaders of that industry, and they're going to remember you from those memories you had when they were still in their trying days. So
yeah,
do not go out to black coffee or to remember you, but go to that friend and make your friend successful. Promote your friend, assist your friend, pray for your friend. Sometimes you don't need to give money. Those little things,
mm,
when those guys are on top, they remember like, hey, rather than you trying to be in spaces where people are already successful. Make your friend successful. Finish and clear.
I remember seeing a status on, I'm not sure who, but one of my contacts, and I always refer to the status where they're like, support your friends and pay full price. Sakile, if you are selling books, as you're saying, I mustn't come to you and be like, "Oh, Sakile Ntwana, you know me. We come from, we went to the same high school, so I want to really get this book. Can you organize a discount for me?" I feel like that also pulls. That's not you adding value to your friend's business. That's you pulling down the business. So you need to support your friends and be willing to pay that full price if you want to use their product.
Exactly. And another thing, my guy, another thing, I'm sharing this to all of you, grounded and fearless listeners and family. If you have a business and you're running a business, move away from that thing where you force your friends and your family to buy. Your customers are strangers out there. Your friends and family are not really your target market. You might find that the
Yeah,
people you're trying to convince is only 15 to 20 people, but there's a lot of strangers on campus. There's a lot of people. Your job should be able to market and reach those people. Stop putting your friends and family, because my relationship with my mother is based on a mother and son relationship. Now I'm trying to sell to her. You don't even know whether the product sticks to her, but obviously she'll buy
yeah.
because she's your mom. But the only
Mm,
person who will give you a good feedback is a customer that is a stranger, because they don't care about your feelings. The only thing they care about is the product. So when you build a podcast, when you build a business, think of the stranger who's the target market. leave us. I'm not saying leave us your friends in the bed when we are alone, but think of the long term and think of when you build a YouTube channel, it's not for us. It will be for us if we like it, but do not shove it on us. Make sure that you build a product that will be liked by a stranger in Libuahome, in Camps Bay, in Atlanta. You see, that's how you build. Because Black Coffee, you might find Black Coffee doesn't care that his friends from high school are not supporting his music. Trevor Noah doesn't care that his friends from Deep Proof were not watching the Daily Show. No, so that's my submission to that. Hence, even in academia, when I approach academia, I'm like, okay, which biggest funder or scholarship do I want to attract? I'm not thinking of I should make maybe my parents happy. My parents are not the target market for my results. It's a complete stranger who's sitting in an HR room in somewhere who's going to moor me with funding so that I can continue investing in the things I invest in. But I beg you, fellow comrades, even in relationships, build networks with complete strangers who you share the same values. I'm telling you, my guy, 10 years we get different conversation.
Yeah, I like that. So in summary, it's basically if you're in the creative space, if you're in the business space, you gotta put it on the plate. If you put it on the plate and your product has value,
Exactly.
it'll grow. Before we go to the Ujrada section, I just want you to tell us what book are you currently reading now. Basically, I want you to recommend a book to us so that
I'm currently reading this. This is the fifth time I'm reading the book. I bought it in 2020. I speak to the author from time to time. He's the one that initiated me into business. His name is Banele Reu. If you go to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I urge all people to search him. His posts, he's speaking to the current problems of the youth and men currently. Normally, the mentality you need before you start any business. That book speaks to the township guy. It speaks to the township lady who wants to start a business from the street corner and you want to end up in the boardrooms. It tackles the mindset. It tells you that there's a difference between the brain and the mind. It tells you that it's the work that works. Only work works. It tells you that start by starting. Do not want to start fancy. Do not want to start so qala business, so drive ama-Audi. Qala ngaleli bhara lakho. Start with your wheelbarrow at the corner shop. Start with that crepe mobile and post those books. So it tells you to start with what you have. Do not wait for funding and say, I'm waiting for NIDA to give me 50,000. If you know your parents can donate 1,000, and if you can sell go slows at your rest or you can sell whatever, that's how you build funding. Funding should find you moving. Funding should not find you stagnant. Theo Baloyi says, abantu bathemba imoto ehambayo. People believe and trust in a car that is moving rather than a stagnant car. He touches into topics such as your friends. He tells you that there are friends for business, that there are friends for socializing. He goes into topics such as don't support black business. I know this sounds controversial, but it's not. Because now we live in an era where people say support black businesses as I don't know if it's a marketing stunt, but he says support a business that provides value.
Yeah.
So he talks about money. He talks about being a steer boy. So being a steer boy is that guy who looks like a fool. Let's take this an Oskido. That guy who's always carrying Oskido's bags. That guy who's always following Oskido, giving him water. He's like a steer boy is very important because in 5 years that steer boy will be Oskido because you are getting real experience from Oskido. You are seeing Oskido signing deals. You are seeing Oskido talking about 15 million. You are seeing Oskido. So you are getting real education in real time. And now when you go to a Black Coffee, you're going there, hey, mina ngintwana Oskido pen. So they know you as that guy. So people, you must be able to be a steer boy, bani bari. Yabona, that's basically you going to your mentor who's let's take you on maybe I don't know, emerge into academia. You going to the professor and learning how to edit, learning how to write literature reviews. At that time, you bar, you are blandelela. Yabona. Because in the long run, now you'll have that moment. But when if so figure that you wanna get there as if you know you're gonna have a problem. So hence he touches on the importance of being a steer boy. Hence I think it has been formalized and it's called mentorship, I guess. So yeah, he really touches on many topics. It's like side incomes, side hustles, yabona, starting with what you have. Because nowadays, maybe a person would like to start a podcast and they want to start with all these MacBook Airs, with all these codec cameras and all this lighting. If usekhoneni kasi and you have that mobile camera, and if you have the content, you see how Bollywood movies started.
Yeah.
Nollywood movies. They started with crappy, but now they are gone. How Nigerian movies started. So basically, it's an example that you must start with what you have wherever you are. We can see this with TikTokers nowadays. People are basemakhoneni TikTok. They are authentic, man. Emakasi with their realness, basically. That's how Amapiano blew up in South Africa. No radio, anything. They started with what they have in the studio and record with that small camera. You never know who finds you in the journey, but they won't find you without you starting. So Ubanele basically says that Ejo, start with, if you know, 50 rand, buy some a campus, and that 50 rand will make you 200. If you want to start a podcast, start with that camera, and in 10 years you'll be the leader of the space. So he basically says that, and that's basically the book. He talks about onyaupes, or onyaupes make things happen. You see, they do not have any degree, but they know how to close a deal as if they're in the boardroom. So in a summary, that's normally the mentality you need before you start any business, from a car to the boardroom, by Banale Reu. Check him out on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And I'm also reading Poor Folk by Tukelo Shahala, my brother TK. Obviously, that's a great book. It looks at it's an anthropology of the things which are happening in South Africa, from marriage to poverty to unemployment. So TK raises that conversation about unemployment, about poverty, about customary marriage, the conversations that I would like us to have, and like more of your listeners to join us when we're in Pretoria, to have such conversations when we hike on the mountain, to see how we can change the future of the country. Those are the books I'm reading, my brother.
I think I'm definitely adding those books to the list of books that I need to read before this year ends. I think I'm almost done with the book that I'm reading now. After that, I'm definitely going to get those two. Thank you for sharing, my brother. So now I want us to play a little game. Would you rather? Would you rather? Basically, I'm going to give you two scenarios, and then you must choose whichever option is best for you.
Okay.
All right. So first question is, would you rather detect every lie you hear or get away with every lie you tell?
I think I would rather detect every lie I hear.
So you don't want to lie and get away with it?
No, because lies always catch up.
Yeah. I mean, it says you want to get away with it, so I don't think it'll catch up.
Oh, sorry, sorry that part flew past my head.
No, but
but yeah, I would rather choose the former than the latter.
Okay. See, you're a man of valor, you know, an honest man. I agree with you there. I'll choose the same option. And then the second one, would you rather oversleep every day for a week or not get any sleep at all for 4 days?
Not get any sleep. I think I'm a workaholic, and yeah, I'm a workaholic, so I'd rather get no sleep because I just love putting in the work. I think that's in my nature, and yeah, I think I get it also from my grandmother. We work the side of the fence.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'd rather oversleep, in a sense that I'm also I'm also not a workaholic, but I also value sleep. And in a sense that I struggle to sleep already because my brain can't stop working. So every opportunity I get to sleep, I'm probably gonna take it.
Yeah.
So for me, I'll go with the first one. I'd rather oversleep, and then if the ship is sinking, We'll dig it up in the morning.
Away, solid.
Yeah, and then this is an interesting one. I always leave the best for last, I think. I don't know. Would you rather
Sure.
solve world hunger or solve global warming?
Let's see. Joe, I would rather save world hunger. Bantu
Yeah.
balambile, Joe. Bantu balambile. You don't know. People are hungry.
See,
People are hungry.
people
Trust
are,
me.
yeah, I mean, people are starving there. Yeah, my take is, yeah, solve world hunger, and then once people have eaten and they're full, and then they can start solving global warming.
Yeah, and with global warming, when we are full, we do not care how hot the sun is because we are full. Now, with certain global warming, we'll have nice, cool weather, but we are hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Now that's all I have for the questions. Now it's time for the question of the day, question of the interview, the question that makes this interview worthwhile. Well, in my eyes, I'm just joking. It's just my favorite questions that I like to ask is, what would you say, grounded and fearless means to you?
I think to me, grounded and fearless means obviously being grounded to my values,
Yeah.
being grounded to what I believe in, which are, I will be honest, the Christian I come from a staunch Christian family.
Mm.
So I think being grounded to those Christian values and also hard work and a good work ethic and a love for others.
Yeah.
And I think fearless, I'll say it in my language, "Ngassabi nix." I think not being scared of anything. I think if there's one thing my mother did well was making me believe that I can take over the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think having faith. So to me, being fearless means that Joe, imposter syndrome to the side.
And
We are coming for everything.
mm, mm, mm,
You're
mm.
saying?
Powerful. I'm saying it's powerful. Being grounded in your values and being fearless to a point of not fearing anything and going for everything.
Joe, we are coming for everything.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that. I like that. Grounded and fearless. Sakhile, my brother, it was such a great episode. But unfortunately, Tibati, all good things come to an end, as I always like saying. So before I let you go, I just want to ask you, like, any words that you have for our grounded and fearless, beautiful people listening to this episode right now.
My mine is simple, guys. Let us keep on supporting Grounded and Fearless. Let us keep on listening to the value because this is value being provided, and there's a lot of work that is put by the brother to make sure this happens by the brother and his team. And mine is to everyone, guys. Let's keep on putting the work wherever you are. Put in the work. Put in the work, guys. If you have a business or if you have an idea, start the idea. Don't wait for funding. Don't wait for anyone to come and save you. And all the best with everyone with whatever they're doing. And more Java fit.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. It was awesome having you on the show. Looking forward to doing more episodes. Hopefully next time we can be in the same room and you can come visit us here at our studio and we can make things happen.
Exactly, my brother. Pretoria is my home.
Yeah, you should pull through. You should pull through.
Most definitely.
As I was saying, all right, beautiful people from my side, and that is a wrap. And with that, we have reached the end of our episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and being part of the show today. Please don't forget to subscribe and follow, and also leave a review, as this helps us improve the show, and we are then able to deliver better content for you to listen to and enjoy. And so until we meet again, adios.